Your daily routine will provide your future success. My friends, each and every day, those 10 to 15 minutes that you devote to following the charts, practice trading, seeking to understand the trends, remember, all we're doing here is making an educated, and I don't call it a guess, it is an educated move that we are making based upon prior actions of the stock or ETF, what we've learned from trading it over weeks, months, years, the personality of how that stock or ETF performs in the appropriate season, and then using those lessons to estimate the correct move of that stock or ETF, whether the price is going up or down. It's binary, 0 or 1, up or down. Let's jump into these charts where everything is a booming up for the day. The S&P 500 up 1.47%, still because of the prior down moves and the way Heikin-Ashi candlesticks work. You can see we have a little red candle forming that is subject to change because it's only Monday. And don't forget, Thursday in the United States is Thanksgiving. So we're going to see the markets closed, and there'll be a relative slowdown, most likely, at least in volume, if not just price movement as we move into the holiday. But it's not today, is it? It is a booming up 1.47%. You can see where this up move you could say it started on Friday afternoon, then banged up in the morning. Looks like maybe a little higher in the afternoon. High in the morning was 669. The afternoon, 670.06. So yes, things did move up a little bit. We had a red spinning top, almost a doji on the last 2-day candle this Monday. Tuesday, it'll finish forming tomorrow. Again, right now is a doji. We look at where volume is, though, my friends. I talked about volume in a holiday week. You can see volume was slow on Friday. It's slow and low on Monday. We might not even reach average volume on the 2-day. And you can see how the week is starting off weak. It's going to be a shortened trading week, and it's going to be a week where I would guess, unless things go completely BS crazy, it will probably be a slow week volume-wise. But we do see price changing. We're still below the weekly trend line on the 2-day and the half-day. It's not much of a weekly trend line, but we are below it. What do we see on the NASDAQ 100? It boomed up big time, 2.56%. Up in the morning, a little higher in the afternoon. Again, still below. We had about average volume in the morning, slacking off a little bit in the afternoon. We might have average volume on the 2-day tomorrow, but it's a doji, red spinning top before. And again, a red down candle. And like I was saying, prices below on all 3 of our charts below that weekly trend line. But things are booming up. We'll keep an eye and see, is the down move ending or is it going to continue? I tend to think it's going to continue, but I've been wrong about things before. Look at 20-year U.S. government bonds. They bottomed out. We talked about this back on Friday the 14th, okay? We got to go back a couple of Fridays of November. Then slid sideways, did move a little bit lower around Tuesday the 18th and slowly started edging up. We're sitting right below on Friday, the weekly trend line, but bounded up above it on Monday on all 3 charts. In the morning on the 2-day, on the weekly, and stayed up in the afternoon. For the day on the 2-day chart, it's through as it is on the weekly chart. So again, not a huge, strong trend line going down. You can see where the bottom didn't move much lower for the last 3 weeks. Sort of moved down and then just sort of hung there. Up 0.57%. Now, we did last week, let's see, the low back on the 3rd was $90.57, $90.32 last week, $89.72. So it was an interim low, and we do have a turnaround. We'll see how the volume continues to gen over this week, but the volumes may reach average on the 2-day tomorrow, depending on how things look on the weekly. And the week chart is starting off, the weekly chart is starting off a little slow. So we'll continue to keep an eye on things. What about gold? I got gold at sort of neutral. It was up 1.58%. It again has been languishing. We see it sliding sideways for quite a while, sort of similar to the to U.S. government bonds, but even more so, a long slide, but starting to tick up and up nicely at 1.58%. We really don't have a trend line. I guess we could sort of, I don't like flat trend lines. What does that do for us? That gives us a little something. We'll try. And if you look at that, you can see how we're still just sort of sliding along, staying on top of it. We'll see how the week continues to go with gold. But it is good to see gold, again, ginning up some 1.58%. It's going up with everything else. So we'll see how the week moves along. You can see volume, nothing to write home about. So again, what does volume tell us? It's, you have price movement, but volume really shows you the power of the price move. What's backing it up, if anything? And when you have a lot of volume, then it's telling you a lot about that value of the move. Is it sticking? Is it ginning up? Is it ginning down? That means, is it increasing in its fervor? Is it increasing in its staying power? So we're not seeing a lot of that. Let's look at where we are on Bitcoin. It also, low volume, didn't reach average in the morning or afternoon. It did go up big, 5.48%. And again, we've seen a lot more from Bitcoin, but that is 5.48%, a big move. After all these weeks down, we can see we're not starting off with a lower low this week. We do see that red down candle. Not a lot of volume on the 2-day, half-day, or weekly. We'll keep our eye on things. Is Bitcoin turning around? We've seen it, move up some and then drift back down. We still have a lot of pressure pushing it down, but it is a nice, decent up day for Bitcoin, so we'll keep an eye on that too. A reversal on several of these charts with some up push, but doesn't mean that that's changing anything for us yet. We've got to have volume to back all of that up. And we do see some okay volume in the morning on the Q, so we'll keep an eye on things. That's where we are, my friends. Remember, this is Thanksgiving week in the States. Typically, folks heading off on vacation if they're not already gone, so we might not have a whole lot of volume. We'll keep an eye on things in case anything goes crazy. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.